Coming up next, though, early French immersion concerns. We'll have a conversation about today's call for a judicial review into the New Brunswick Education Minister's decision to eliminate early French immersion. That's next. Please stay with us. Well, it's an issue that just won't go away for the Graham government. Back in March, the province suddenly announced it was scrapping New Brunswick's early French immersion program and replacing it with a broader-based program for older students. The reaction was instant and, for the most part, negative. There were protests, petitions, and tonight you can add a legal challenge to the list. Paula Small is with the group Citizens for Educational Choice. That's a newly formed organization that's behind the legal action. And she joins us now from our newsroom in St. John. And we should point out that we're having a few technical issues with our power supply in St. John. So thank you for coming in and bearing with us tonight, Paula.
No problem, Bruce.
Let's begin with your group itself. Who are the Citizens for Educational Choice?
The Citizens for Educational Choice are a group of concerned parents, a fairly newly formed group. There are probably about 300 members currently, but it's difficult for us to know the exact number because of the fact that people are constantly coming forward and joining the group. But we share a common goal of making our voice heard about various issues concerning instruction in schools in New Brunswick.
All right, now tell me about the court papers that were filed today. At the moment, as I understand it, you're seeking a judicial review.
Exactly. The court papers filed today concern those parents who are parents of kindergartners in New Brunswick who have registered for the program of Early French Immersion for the September 2008 year. We were asked by the department's districts, in our various districts, to do so in early January. It was a deadline of February 14th. Those of us interested, of course, filed our applications. In my case, the district also held an information session at our school, which I attended, and was given information about the benefits of the program, expected outcomes at various phases, as well as in the 12th year. And at that point, my husband and I continued forward and thought that that was the best choice for our child. And we kept our application in, and we believed at that point we were going to be getting our child into the early French immersion system for this year.
All right, so if you get the review, if you're successful and get the judicial review, your group is confident then that you can convince a judge to reverse this and bring back early French immersion?
What we're looking for as a group of parents of kindergartners at this point is the review to find that indeed there was procedural unfairness, so that we weren't treated fairly in the process, given that the timelines just don't match up with what the minister's office came forward with 2 weeks after the deadline for registration.
Yeah, you're saying this decision was made far too quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you also argue that the initial report that this decision was based on was shoddy and biased.
There are some parts of that report which have been called into question, yes, and that we believe that there are other reports out there that also promote and show that the French immersion program is a valid and actually a good program for children in New Brunswick.
All right, now the Education Minister, Kelly Lamrock, has taken a lot of heat about this, but so far he hasn't flinched, and he continues to argue that early French immersion simply doesn't work. That's you obviously take issue with that assessment, that argument.
I do. I do. And personally, I have one child. She's registered for French immersion for this fall, has not been in the French immersion program yet, but I know many children here in the St. John community who are in the program. I know parents who've had children that have gone completely through the program, and I know graduates of the program who I deal with in a work environment, have hired as students, and have had other cause to know. And I happen to see a lot of really good examples of people who are able to use the language that they learned in the school program for their career. They're able to use it for enjoyment of the French culture, and it has benefited their lives.
All right, Paula, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Paula Small is with the group Citizens for Educational Choice, an organization that launched a legal challenge today to fight for early French immersion in New Brunswick. She joined us from our studio in St. John.